Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel, dear brothers and sisters. Leif Skjetne has been a pastor at a church in Sweden for 30 years in the city of Jonkoping, Sweden. Many people around him were surprised as to why the 77-year-old man decided to embrace Islam. I still have difficulty understanding how Leif could change religions. He was in the church for 30 years. However, we remain good friends, said one of his friends, Par I Person, as quoted from the Muslim Convert Stories website. Leif Skjetne was raised in Oslo, Norway. He moved to Smedjebacken in 1984, where he worked as a pastor at Norbarka Parish until 1986. After that, he worked at the Skillingaryd Pastorate and became a pastor in Aker and Hangskjold. Later, Skjetne worked extensively in Hangerdannus as a pastor during his retirement. During his time as a pastor in the Church of Sweden, Skjetne had the opportunity to assist refugees and address their issues. One of the refugees was a Muslim man named Abdullah. Skjetne had the opportunity to live with him, and they eventually became good friends. He called me his father, as his biological father had passed away. We lived together for a year and a half, said Skjetne. While living with Abdullah, Skjetne had the opportunity to study Islam closely. Abdullah was a devout Moroccan Muslim who performed the 5 daily prayers along with his other acts of worship. This paved the way for Skjetne, the former pastor, who was then 74 years old, to learn about the teachings of Islam. Christianity and Islam have many similarities, starting with the same God. The only strong dividing line is Jesus and Muhammad, peace be upon him. However, Islam indeed contains all the teachings of Christianity, said Skjetne. In recent decades, there have been many fiery incidents due to extremist movements and so on. Muslims around the world have faced unpleasant behavior, he added. After Skjetne lived with Abdullah for a year and a half, the time came when the refugees at the Church of Sweden had to be evicted. Skjetne was not surprised by this decision. I was not surprised when they finally expelled him, said Skjetne. In the fall of 2017, Leif Skjetne embraced Islam while living with Abdullah. He changed his name to Ahmed Skjetne. Moving forward, Ahmed made a big decision to move to Morocco and begin living as a retiree. Many people have embraced Islam. However, I'm the first pastor in Scandinavia to take that path, he said. After the public learned that Skjetne had converted to Islam, the church management sent many people to speak with him. However, when a pastor of such age makes the decision to change his faith, we can only believe that it was a well-thought-out decision. The only change here is the language. Arabic is difficult, and I don't know much of it. The climate is nice, about 35 degrees. I sometimes go to the mosque, but it's been difficult due to the ongoing pandemic situation, Ahmed Skjetne added. Ahmed Skjetne did not announce his conversion to Islam in 2017 because he was still a pastor at that time. Moreover, he had been a pastor for most of his life. A decision like this could potentially affect many people around me. I didn't want that to happen, said Skjetne. He embraced Islam, moved to Morocco, and began living as a retired pastor with his pension. Skjetne currently lives in Fez, Morocco, with the Moroccan refugee he got to know, Abdullah. Ivan Agueli was the first person to embrace Islam in Sweden. He was born with the name John Gustaf Agueli in 1869 in Sweden and later converted to Islam, adopting the name Abd al-hadi al-qili. Agueli was a philosopher, painter, and Sufi who had a deep interest in mysticism and Eastern philosophy, which ultimately led him to the teachings of Islam. Ivan Agueli traveled to various countries, including Egypt, where he delved into the study of Islam and Sufism. There he joined the Shahiliya order, a Sufi brotherhood known for its teachings on spiritual closeness to Allah without the need to renounce worldly life. He studied Arabic and classical Islamic texts, including works of Islamic philosophy and Sufism. Agueli was particularly drawn to the concept of Tawheed, the oneness of God, and the spiritual depth within Islamic teachings, which became the foundation of his belief. After converting to Islam, Ivan Agueli became an important figure in introducing Islamic thought in Europe. He was involved in intellectual discussions on philosophy, religion, and mysticism. Agueli is also known as a pioneer of perennialism, a school of thought that emphasizes the existence of universal truth in all major religious traditions. Agueli had a significant influence on other Western figures, including René Guénon, a French philosopher who also converted to Islam and became a prominent thinker in the study of Islamic tradition and metaphysics. Ivan Agueli passed away in 1917 in Spain due to a train accident. Although his life was short, his intellectual legacy remains alive, especially in the fields of philosophy and Islamic studies in the West. The story of Ivan Agueli demonstrates how a profound spiritual quest can lead someone to discover the truth in Islam, even outside of the traditional Muslim world. Islam is the second largest minority religion in Sweden after Christianity. According to data from the Pew Research Center in 2017, the Muslim population in Sweden reached approximately 810,000 people, or about 8.1% of the country's total population. The history of Islam's presence in Sweden began in the 8th century through trade interactions between the Vikings and the Muslim world. However, a significant Muslim community only started to form in the second half of the 20th century, primarily due to waves of immigration from the Middle East, North Africa, and the Balkans. Although Islam is recognized as an official religion in Sweden, the Muslim community often faces challenges, including discrimination and Islamophobia. Several incidents, such as the burning of the Quran and attacks on mosques, have raised concerns among Swedish Muslims. Despite facing challenges, the Muslim community in Sweden continues to grow and contribute to various aspects of Swedish society. Many Muslim organizations and associations in Sweden focus on community empowerment, advocating for Muslim rights, and defending against issues related to Islamophobia. One important organization is the Sveriges Muslimska Råd, Swedish Muslim Council, which aims to unite various Muslim groups in Sweden and represent their interests in various social and political forums. Overall, the Muslim community in Sweden strives to live a harmonious life by preserving their religious identity while actively participating in Swedish society. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.